Jujutsu Kaisen chapter 271 starts off with the trio back together again, and with Nobara saying that she does not feel the seal or the influence of the technique on the girl. So they understand that this is either a skilled caster in terms of techniques. As a result, they try to figure out from what the distance or where the technique could have been activated. As we see, we have Nobara, we have Megumi, we have Yuji, all just talking with one another, discussing the plans. Nobara then suggests going somewhere far away so that the technique stops working, to which Itadori agrees. But Megumi replies that they are idiots and it won't work. Looking at both Nobara and Yuji, as Yuji is just looking like a fool trying to discuss what they can do and why. Megumi is then trying to come up with a plan and figure out who the curse user is. As we see in this panel, Megumi walks through the door and we see Nobara and Yuji discussing the plans, with Megumi giving his insights. Although we don't have all the translations right now, we can just tell from this there's a discussing plan. And then we finally have a Gojo and Yuji flashback talking about heartbreaks. Now, everyone in this chapter thinks that Gojo will come back, and as we know, all the panels have not been released for this chapter, so we only have limited leaks, and this is one of the leaks that does have Gojo, but this is a flashback. We have our boy Gojo Satoru saying, when something happens, I want you to be there for me. I have love and dreams too. But you know, one day everyone will grow up and leave me behind, right? Yuji then responds saying, I honestly think it's better to have someone stronger than me who can truly forget my existence. Then Yuji responds saying, I could never forget you. Not now though. Isn't that a bit concerning, Sensei? Are you okay with that? Ah, you're so young and naive. You're brimming with confidence, aren't you? Gojo then says, I have high hopes for you, desire and ambition. As we know, Gojo has believed in Yuji since day one, and he knew that Yuji would become a big ass sorcerer and that Yuji would eventually come and defeat Sukuna, which we saw a couple chapters before. We then see a panel talking about the coordinates of the curse. There are thoughts about the radius of the technique, after which it affects disappears and the wife finally sees her husband's face as normal again. And our trio finally begins to feel the aura of the curse and its coordinates. Now, there isn't that much panels left, but in the very last panel, we could see the final Sukuna finger back in the casket where it once was in the very first episode and in the very first chapter. We finally see it being sealed there, and we see our boy Yuji, we see our boy Megumi, and we see our girl Nobara back together just giggling again, with our boy Yuji just smiling, the boy Megumi just confused and freaking pissed off, our freaking girl Nobara with her mouth wide open. Like, yo, honestly, from these couple of chapters, I honestly don't know how they're gonna close out Jujutsu Kaisen. There's still so many panels left open. They were supposed to face someone in this chapter, but honestly, we haven't even seen any action in this chapter at all. So I don't know what other pages could be missing. I guess we still gotta wait and see, but honestly, I hope it's nothing too I want something major happening, you know what I mean? Like, so far, if I had to rate this chapter out of 10, this shit a solid 5. Like, I'm not gonna lie, this is very, very disappointing. Like, they're doing a My Hero Academia ending right now, which is making the chapter very disappointing. I'm not even gonna lie. It's not even the fact that Gojo isn't even in this chapter, or he's not even returning. Because if Gojo was returning, let me just tell you, that would be something everyone would non-stop be talking about right now. Everyone would be talking about Gojo's return and nothing but Gojo's return. But since that has not happened, literally, like, this chapter is just literally just mid. No one cares about it. If you literally go on freaking X, or I guess Twitter, you can say no one cares about this chapter at all. Literally no one. And it's honestly just very, very sad, as this was supposed to be one of the best final chapters that, you know, Jujutsu Kaisen was gonna offer us, and now it's just become very dull and like no one even cares at all. To summarize this whole chapter, we have Itadori and the guys taking the couple away from the technique's range to burn the curse user. They find them, after which there is not even a fight, as we don't even see the fight, which is just so stupid, since it is just random, and he surrenders himself, after which Itadori has a therapy session with him and remembers Satoru Gojo's words, which in the flashback we saw about how he big bets on Yuji. Everyone smiles at them, walking off into the sunset in their groups. In the end, as we saw, we see Sukuna's finger in that very same booth from the very first chapter. And that's literally all we just know, which is just like, alright, I guess. But that's chapter 271 of Jujutsu Kaisen. If you guys did enjoy this video, please make sure to hit that like button down below, hit that subscribe button if you guys are new, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.